that our kids and grandkids are going to need to deal with in the future. And I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from South Carolina.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 2 minutes to the minority whip, Mr. Hoyer.
Gentleman from Maryland is recognized for 2 minutes.
I thank the gentleman from yielding. I had not planned to speak at this point in time in the debate. But somebody, sometime, ought to talk about facts. The gentleman mentions the contract with America. The first plank of the contract with America was fiscal responsibility. Now, you weren't in charge when the contract with America came into your purview as the majority in 1995. Bill Clinton was President of the United States. I've served here my 26th year. 18 of those have been with Republican presidents. 8 have been with a Democratic president. Every one of those 18 years, we had a deficit of over $100 billion. Now, there's only one person in America who can stop spending, the President of the United States. Reagan didn't stop spending, Bush didn't stop spending, and this president has spent, and you have spent, twice as much as we spent under Bill Clinton. The Heritage Foundation will tell you that. Not we Democrats, we'll tell you that too, but the Heritage Foundation will tell you that. Tell my friend from Texas. You have voted for budgets which have provided the largest deficits in our history. In the last 64 months, your budgets and your policies have resulted in an additional $3 trillion of deficit spending. $3 trillion. You're in charge of the House, you're in charge of the Senate, and you have the presidency. Now you say, oh, we had 9/11, and then we had the war. You didn't have that during the Reagan years, and you had a deficit every year. You didn't have that in Bush 1. You had the Gulf War 1, but guess what? That President Bush had the rest of the world substantially pay for that effort. $3 trillion in additional debt. And in this budget, you're going to add an additional $650 billion plus to the national debt. Those deficits, by the way, so you understand, may I have one additional minute? Those deficits, so you understand, and these are facts. You're welcome to look at your little books, get out your staff, and say, oh no, Hoyer's lying. Public maybe is watching. During Republican presidents, those 18 years, $4.3 trillion of deficit spending. Net. You know what you had under Bill Clinton? $62.5 billion of surplus. The only president in your lifetime, I say to all of you, who had a net surplus during the course of his terms. So I hear the gentleman from Texas get up and talk about the contract with America. It was blarney. You said you were going to be fiscally responsible. The finances of this nation over the last 6 years have been the worst since my service here, and perhaps in the history, I think in the history of America. You talk a good game, but you're not playing a good game. You're not playing for real. And you're trying to fool the American public. The problem you have is they're not being fooled.
Gentleman from Texas.